What is up, you guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackenzie. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. So you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. This is what we're going to be working on in today's video. So I found this at a yard sale. I think I paid about $5 for it, and essentially what it is a Halloween decoration, but it's indoor outdoor. The whole frame of it is metal. I'll pop up a full view picture right here of what this thing looks like. So like I said, the full frame is metal, but the actual lantern itself are these little flimsy yellow tinged plastic pieces. So as soon as I saw this, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. We're going to make our own little custom stained glass panels to replace this ugly yellow plastic with. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. We are going to just spice up this indoor-outdoor Halloween decoration lantern, make it look a little bit cooler with some custom stained glass panels. So if that sounds like something you guys are into, let's get started. Okay guys, so before we get to the fun part of cutting any glass or making our designs, the first thing I had to do was measure out the actual space and width that each panel is going to have to be. So lucky for you guys, I've already done that. So this is the size that each panel is going to have to be, and again, we're going to have 4 of them. So I also had to make some designs. Again, I've already done that. So these are the 4 designs that I came up with. A little spider web, a couple little bats, a little ghosty, and a little pumpkin. But after I got all of these done, I thought of an issue. So looking at these designs, right off the bat, I know my gut. I'm gonna wanna use a clear iridescent somewhere in this, not only to let the most amount of light through the lantern itself, but you guys know me, I love my clear iridescence and I'm gonna wanna use that, but that poses a problem. So particularly for a design like this one right here, I love this design, but say I use the clear iridescent for a background and did a black baddie or a black rainbow baddie, which would look wicked cool. Not only am I going to see the actual light bulb base, but also the light bulb itself behind it, which is a problem. That's going to look ugly. I'm not going to like that. Beyond seeing the actual light bulb and the light bulb base itself, even if I use a very textured clear iridescent, I'm going to see whatever design is directly across from it as well. So then that got me thinking, maybe I should only use 2. That way I use 2 of one, 2 of the other, and just put them on opposite sides. So no matter which way you look through, not only is it the same design, but also pick a design that doesn't show the light bulb base and light bulb itself. Does that make sense? So with all that being said, I think my favorite 2 are these ones right here. This little spider web and the ghosty. This one, I love it so much, but no matter what, I'm not going to like being able to see even the shadow of the light bulb base and the light bulb behind it. So this one's out. Then looking at the pumpkin, even though I love the pumpkin, I think the ghost goes better with the spider web because the spider web is ultimately my favorite. Now you can see I've got this little line down here because the shade of the actual lantern comes so far down. So we've only got realistically a very small space to design within. So keeping them very simple, I think the best 2 are gonna be the spider web and the ghost. I like how the spider web and pumpkin look together, but that says more fall to me. You know what I mean? So I think these are the winners. Yeah, the spider web and the ghost, and then we do a cute little painted enamel ghosty face on them. I think that will be adorable. So those are the winners. It stinks we're not going to be able to use these 2, but we've got a little ways to go before Halloween. Hopefully we'll get to make something with a pumpkin and a couple baddies in the near future. So we've got our 2 panels down. We're going to have to make 2 of each. So because of that, I want to make a copy just to have, and then we have to make our hard copy or our actual stencil. So I'm going to throw these into the scanner, make a copy of each, and then make them into our actual stencils so we can get cutting some glass. Alrighty guys, so my stencils are made and cut. I'm not cutting this web yet because we're not going to cut these inside lines until after we grind these outside edges because I want these to match together perfectly. I don't want any extra space in there, so our stencil fits right back together the same exact size that we need it to be. So we're gonna cut all the glass out. We're gonna have the web as one piece. We're gonna grind the outside edges. Then, before we wrap it in foil, we'll cut these sections apart, wash off the oil, then wrap them in foil. So now we're ready to start cutting glass. Let's take care of the webs first. So like I said, I definitely wanna do a black rainbow iridescent for the web itself. This is the one that I chose. And then we're going to do a clear English muffle iridescent glass for the background. This one will be really pretty. Of course, again, it's so hard to pick up iridescent glass on this kind of a camera. We need to be able to quickly adjust the brightness like I can on my phone, but you guys can kind of see the iridescent there, but I'm sure you guys know what this looks like anyway. So this is going to be our background, and the web is going to be our black rainbow iridescent. So I'm just going to cut out 2 of these webs since we're making 2 of each panel, and then cut out the background. Alrighty guys, so we've got just about everything cut out, and as you can see here, there are shapes that I could definitely cut out by hand. I could definitely cut this out by hand. I can definitely cut these out by hand. I cut my ghosties out all the time, but I do have to pull out the ring saw to cut this one. This one is cutting it close. I'd rather just cut it with the ring saw versus trying to hand cut it and risk breaking it or something. So because we have to pull out the ring saw anyway, I just left these little bit trickier shapes to be cut out on the ring saw as well. So even though I would hand cut these in a normal situation, I want these to be as perfect as possible. We're pulling out the ring saw anyway, so we're going to cut all of these leftover shapes out on the ring saw. So we've got to grind all of these edges on my normal grinder. I'll be using my Gryphon convertible grinder, and then we're going to use the ring saw to cut the other pieces of the shapes out on the Gryphon Zephyr. So let's pull those machines out and we will get to cutting and grinding. Alrighty, so we've got all of our glass ground, but before we can start wrapping it with foil, there's a couple more things that we've got to do first. So, like I said, we've got all of our edges ground. We do still need to cut the web, but we're not going to grind it. We're just going to cut it, clean it, and then wrap it. But we also want to wash our glass one more time. You can use something like alcohol or acetone, and I'm just going to clean these edges off one more time just to really make sure that we've gotten all of those oils from the chapstick off of this glass. So after we ground it, after we had it on the ring saw, we put it into our fresh water bucket, rinse it in there, then we take it to the sink, rinse it, and then rinse it again with a nice scrubby brush and some Dawn dish soap to really help break down those oils. Now we're here, so I'm gonna wash one more time just using little pieces of paper towel, and I'm gonna use 100% acetone to really break up those oils that's left on the glass. So since I'm going to do that, I'm going to cut these pieces up first, because after I cut them and break them, I'm also going to want to wipe those down with the acetone to make sure none of the cutting oil is left on this glass as well. So we're going to be cutting and then cleaning all of this glass up. So I'm going to do that really quick, then we can get to wrapping. Okay guys, so we've got all of our pieces wiped down and clean. We've got our spiderweb pieces all broken up. Everything is now ready to be copper foiled. We are getting closer to the fun parts. So I'm going to wrap everything in my favorite, which is just basic 1/4 inch black backed copper foil, and then we can get to soldering. Again, if you guys have any specific questions on any specific step in making stained glass, I have dedicated videos for every single step on my channel already. I will link my stained glass playlist down below. So for now, let's get these pieces wrapped. We've got all of our pieces foiled here. We are getting closer and closer to the best part of this project, which is going to be working on the actual lamppost, putting our glass panels in, and just sprucing the lamppost itself up. But we'll talk all about that once our panels are finished. So now we've got to figure out how we're going to put our little ghost faces on. So for this, I don't want to use something like liquid leading just because it is water-based. Even though when it's cured, it should technically be okay, but I don't even want to mess with that. I want this to last as long as possible. So for these ghost faces, I'm going to use enamel. Since we're going to use enamel, we're going to have to bake it. You want to do that before you solder it and after you foiled it. So we've got our pieces foiled right here. We're going to put enamel ghost faces on. So I'm just going to do very simple, cute little ghost faces. Then we can let it sit. You have to let it sit for at least an hour before you bake it in the oven. And I'll list all of the products, of course, that I'm talking about or using in today's video down below. So for this, I'm going to be using just a basic folk art enamel. We're going to paint our little faces on, let it sit for an hour, and then we can bake it in the oven. So it goes in the oven, then you turn it on, preheat to 350, timer on for 30 minutes, keep them in the oven and let them cool off in there after those 30 minutes. So like I said, we're just going to paint some basic ghost faces on here and then we'll let them sit for an hour and bake them. Okay, cute, easy stuff here, guys. Now, like I said, we're going to let these sit for at least an hour before we throw them into the oven. So as you can see, I've already got my ghost faces on. We painted them last night. I let them dry all night because it was getting late. So first thing this morning, I popped them into the oven. I've got just a couple add-on pieces right here because that will help kind of hold our panels together. So again, I will have everything that I talk about or needed, all of my favorite stained glass products, linked in the description box down below. We are ready to solder, so I'm going to clear my space, get all of my soldering stuff ready, and we can start soldering all of our panels together. Okay guys, so just finished soldering our last panel here. All four are done. So I'm just going to quickly brush them off to get rid of any little solder beads that might be left on the pieces so that doesn't go down the sink. Then we're going to give them a nice warm soapy bath. You guys know me, I don't like any specific stained glass cleaners. I don't use stained glass polish, just regular old Dawn dish soap to break down any grease. Leftover chemicals will do the trick. So like I said, I'm gonna take them to the sink, give them a good, nice warm water scrubby bath with some Dawn dish soap. Then we can throw on our patina. Okay, now I'm getting excited, guys. We're at the fun part. Finally, our panels are done. Now we can start working on the actual lamppost itself. So looking a little bit closer at it, I don't think I'm going to have to paint anything. I think I should be able to get it looking pretty nice after just a clean. So I'm gonna put these panels to the side and we can get going on the actual lamppost itself and removing those old plastic panels. Okay guys, so before we start doing anything, taking anything apart, I'm going to clean this thing because it's definitely old. Like I said, I got this from a yard sale and you can tell by just looking at it and looking how much dust and dirt is everywhere that this thing has been around a little while. So I just want to clean all of that grime off of it. But luckily, like I said, I don't think I need to paint it or anything. It just needs a good quick cleaning and we should be good to go. So I'm just going to wipe everything down with this basic cleaner, get all of this dust off, then we can start taking apart that actual lantern section and seeing how well I can get those old gross panels out. Okay, so I've already tried to remove one of these panels. I tried to get it to come out in one solid piece, but it just started breaking all over the place. So now the inside has these little bits of broken plastic, which luckily this is really, really thin. I don't think it's gonna affect it too much. I wish there was a way I could fully pop that top off, but I really can't. I forgot I tried to take this one out already too. but we're definitely gonna have to lift these all the way up. If they break off, they break off. We'll just have to resolder them back down later because the glass is gonna sit up against that, so we can't have the metal in the way. So I've really gotta make sure that that flap is as bent up as possible. Take out the rest of these friggin' ugly plastic panels. If I can break any of these bits off with this. Can you guys see what I'm talking about? Yeah, all that leftover plastic that's in there. I really would prefer to get that out so it's a nice clean edge. These little metal flappies down here, I closed that one off. Here's another one back there. But I really gotta try to bend those down and make them as flat as possible. Okay, here's one. Okay, that took some finagling. That took me a minute, but I got it. My assumptions were correct in that you can see right through it, but having a darker base of something at the bottom completely helps hide the light bulb base behind it. This looks so friggin' cute, you guys. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going to put a nice new light bulb in this and I will show you guys the final reveal when it's a little bit darker in here and you guys can see it lit up. Alrighty guys, it's getting dark out. I think that's it for today's video. So I'm happy with it. I think it came out really, really cute. I think it was definitely worth the $5. It got quite a bit of an upgrade, I think, but you guys will have to let me know down in the comments below what you think. I haven't decided what bulb I'm gonna use yet outside. Also, let me know what you guys like the best. Do you like the red bulb, the clear one, or that orange one? I'm between the red and the clear, I think. Or maybe I'll switch between them. Maybe I'll like change it every week. So for the people that drive by, it'll be fun to see what bulb it's gonna be next week or every couple days. I don't know, we'll see. But that's it for today's video, guys. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you did, comment down below and let me know what do you wanna see next, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.